Hey fantastic people, welcome back to F1ntastic Gaming. You can see it's been a while since we've uploaded, but we're back with some fantastic Formula 1 content. And today we're going to be kicking off the 2021 Formula 1 season with a last to first challenge. That's right, this is the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, the last to first challenge. We're going to be racing in the McLaren of Lando Norris, and we're going to be starting at the back of the grid as usual, and we're going to try and get to first. That's a challenge, that's why it's called last to first. But you know, it depends on what car we race, and we don't always get to first, but we're going to give it our best shot. And last year in the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix last to first challenge, we actually completed the challenge for the very first time since we started these last to first challenges. I actually made it from last on the grid to first. If you guys have not already checked out the video, be sure to check it out. We were racing with Lewis Hamilton's car that time, last time, and in the F1 2020 game, the Mercedes, as it was in real life, was really blistering quick. That really did contribute to us winning the race last time. But still, I feel personally that I'm very skilled at the Bahrain International Circuit, that I'm very skilled at this race, because it was the first circuit that I ever learned on the F1 game, because I've actually been to the Bahrain Grand Prix many times. I've seen the circuit and I've always wanted to be able to see what it's like racing there. So that's why that's the first circuit I learned, and that's why it's the circuit that I'm fastest at, and that's why I think I'll be able to hopefully get into the top 5 in this race, possibly a podium. But yeah, in a McLaren, a race win isn't as likely, but it's very much possible. And yeah, you can see the grid order right now. We're going to be plumb last, and we're just going to try and capitalize on that first lap, as we always do in the last of first challenges. So yeah, before we get into the race, we are going to check out the strategy. We're going to be pitting on lap number 6, which is from the softs to the mediums. It's a very normal strategy for the Bahrain Grand Prix. 6 wings, it's a good balance, because Bahrain has corners, but it has a lot of straights, but it also has some challenging corners. So that's why I think 6 wings is a good balance. But now we're gonna go to 5 red lights for the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix last of first challenges. Lights out, and away we go. You can see we get a fabulous getaway using the overtaking mode, using the slipstream. We've already passed 2 cars, but what can we do into turn 1? This is probably the most exciting part of the Grand Prix, as we make a big boy dive bomb down to turn 1. We're already up into the top 10, but maybe not, as we make contact with Vettel. We hit him from behind. He absolutely blocked us. That was so slippy and slidey, and we're still side by side with the Ferrari. But look at that replay. We actually got pushed off track, because I think we were 3 wide coming through turn 1. So I think Ocon and Vettel might have pushed me a little bit without realizing it. But yeah, you can see into turn 4 we make a fairly easy move down the inside of Vettel, and we secure this points position. We're in P9 right now, so 2 points in the bag, but we're still going to continue this charge. You can see in the middle sector we've gained time on Pierre Gasly, but we're coming into the third sector. And can we make a dive bomb? Yes, we can. We make contact, because he doesn't expect that, because that's not an overtaking corner usually, but we actually make the move because we have much better performance than Gasly. I think he might have been held up. That was Leclerc I actually overtook earlier. That was not Vettel. This is Vettel ahead of us right now. Yeah, certainly much higher than the Ferrari was last year. And yeah, so now obviously this is the F1 2020 game. We don't have the 21 game yet. It will come later this year. Back to our race. We make a huge dive bomb down the inside. We're braking a little bit late, quite late actually, and this is what fans love to see in real life. Turn 1 moves, unpredictability, and I think that's what's amazing about the circuit, that there's a lot of, it's quite easy to overtake. That's why it provides really good racing, and that's why we made a move into turn 1. Turn 4, another very good overtaking spot, especially when DRS is enabled. Look at the time we gained on Lance Stroll through that middle sector, and we're gonna make a huge dive bomb again, because I want to get through these cars. I want to get to the podium. That's what I'm aiming for. And you can see we made a fairly not so clean overtake. We did make a bit of contact there, but yeah, because the AI don't expect it. They don't really make space for you, and they don't really expect any overtakes. But yeah, it was a very sudden overtake. We made it happen, and now we're gonna chase after Daniel Ricciardo. I am very, very happy by my pace. I'm very surprised by how quick this McLaren is on the soft tires as we make another dive bomb. That is 3 overtakes in 1 lap, people. We're on to lap number 3, and we're already up into P5. We've already reached the top 5, and I think we can go higher. But yeah, the final corner, another very good corner. Not so much of an overtaking corner, but more of a corner that you can go slow, that you can go fast in and still get a fast exit, and then take advantage of that fast exit down that long main straight, and then go for a move at turn 1. So yeah, that's how the circuit is designed. It's designed for good racing. But yeah, now you can see we're pushing hard, taking the racing line that the drivers were using in testing, going a little bit wide there, which is still legal. But yeah, we open DRS now since DRS is enabled. You can see we lost a little bit time, I think, because we didn't have much ERS, and I think we pushed the car a little bit too hard. That's why we lost a little bit time to Sergio Perez. But now we've gained that back in the DRS zone. We've got some energy to burn, some ERS. But yeah, you can see that I'm planning now. We've gone so close to Perez. I think now that I'm gonna be a little bit more patient, maybe not go for a move in the last corner, and more focus on the exit out of the last corner, so that we can do well on the straight. And you can see we actually get so close to making a move. That's how slow Perez was in front of us. But now we're so close to him, only 3 tenths the gap ahead. That's easy to cover up with DRS and ERS. And as Jeff said in that radio message, we're going to be pitting in 2 laps. But yeah, we're going to go for another dive bomb down into turn 1. We run a little bit wide, but that's okay. We get back on the racing line, and we have DRS for the next straight because we were behind Perez in the detection zone. You can see we went for that overtake at the end. No contact made. Super clean move, and we get that job done. We're up in a P4, people, just behind the podium, but just behind, there's a 4-second gap ahead to Valtteri Bottas. That's a big gap. Our only hope now is either an amazing strategy that we need to pull off. So either we pull off an amazing strategy or a safety car comes out. And safety cars don't usually come out at Bahrain, especially because of the massive runoffs. Because at Bahrain, as you can see from the final corner as well, the runoff areas are usually very big. And you can see also that as we go on to lap number 6, the pit window opens and the gap ahead has gone to around 5.5 seconds. It has grown really big now, and yeah, we can't just catch this gap up on raw pace. It has to be strategy. So yeah, this is a big problem for us. I mean, P4 is good. It's very good, especially for a McLaren, which is more like a midfield car, especially in 2020. In this game, it's a midfield car. So P4 is big, but I was hoping for a podium. But yeah, Verstappen, Bottas, and Hamilton. I mean, who else? But yeah, these 3, they just flew away with the podium positions. But there's, I think, yellow flags behind. Something's gone wrong. I'm not sure for who, but it seems to be Danny Kvyat, who's had an engine problem. You can see there's smoke coming out of his engine, and so now he's out of this race. He is holding up a couple of cars. You can see that the Red Bull might have gone held up a little bit there. So he pulls over to the side. He's out of the session, and oh my goodness, there's a safety car at the exact time that we needed a safety car. The safety car has come out, guys. You have no idea what a massive advantage this gives us, because now we can come into the pits, get off the tires. We won't lose any time because the other cars are coming in at this lap as well. But yeah, this is a huge advantage because now we can catch up to the top 3, and then when the safety car ends, we're gonna have fresh tires, fresh rubber, and a big chance at getting into that podium position. I want to gain at least a position, because you can see that Hamilton has pitted for mediums ahead. So I want to at least overtake Hamilton and get a podium in this race, because I think it's very much feasible, because this safety car is gonna be out until the end of lap number 9, if I'm not wrong, because the safety car comes out for at least 2 laps. So this is golden for us. This is amazing, huge opportunity for us to make it into this podium position and achieve the goal. And who knows, we might be able to win the race, because from what we can see right now, Hamilton is the highest car to pit. He was winning the race, but now he's down third because he took a pit stop. But I don't think Bottas and Verstappen have pitted. I'm not sure what's gonna go on there, but yeah, for now I think we're gonna easily go into a podium position. You can see that we were actually in rich mix previously because we wanted to catch up to Hamilton and catch up to the top 3 and push hard in our strategy, but I'm going down to lean mix to save the engine. But now at the end of lap number 8, the safety car is going to be coming in. We have to maintain speed, we have to stay with no overtaking, and yeah, we need to make sure that we get close to Hamilton, don't overtake him until the start finish line, because otherwise we'll get penalized. But I want to get at least alongside him so that when we cross that start finish line we can use overtake mode, absolutely gun it and go for it. But you can see that the top 3, they're kind of being a little funny with the throttle here. Now we finally get on the throttle, use the overtake mode, and we're going so fast. But still, Hamilton in that Mercedes with the Mercedes engine in his head. We make a big dive bomb down the inside, nearly hit Verstappen. We're braking so hard, we're side by side with Valtteri Bottas. Oh my goodness, we've jumped both the Mercedes cars. This is absolutely amazing for us. I want to see a replay of that because that was fantastic. Look at that, we made a huge dive bomb, surprised Hamilton, surprised Bottas, made a little bit of contact there, but you kind of have to expect that on the safety car restart. And now we've got a fairly reasonable gap behind. So yeah, this is absolutely amazing, guys. I am so happy that we're up in the P2, even higher than we want it to be. So now our main job is to push and maybe try and get this race win, because I'm not sure what's going on with the Verstappen strategy. It's a little bit strange, but from what I can see right now, he's struggling with grip, and I'm feeling amazing on these fresh medium tires, and I can push to the absolute limit on these tires as well, because there's 5 laps, I think, yeah, 5 laps to go in this race after the end of this lap. So yeah, we're coming towards the end of this lap at the penultimate corner. I think not penultimate corner, because actually this is turn 13. There's actually 15 turns in this circuit, because after this corner there is actually like a little kink, and that counts as a corner, as a final corner. So yeah, we're coming through the final corner now, and Verstappen pulls into the pits. Yes, I was hoping for this. I was actually hoping for this. Verstappen pulls into the pits with around 5 laps to go in this race. I don't know what the hell Verstappen and Bottas' strategists were thinking. I don't know what they were on about, because they did not pit under the safety car. Very foolish from the AI in the game, but that's how it works. It works out for me because we're in the lead right now. We're in the lead of this race, but the job is not over, because you know what, the 7-time world champion is right behind us, and he's on our tail, and he's quick, guys. You can see he's already within 0.5 of a second. I think when we cross the line now, DRS is going to be enabled. Yes, DRS is enabled, but right now Hamilton does not need DRS because he has that Mercedes engine in the back of this car, and he flies past us. We're side by side to turn 1. Down the inside, we kind of re-overtake him, defending our position. As we come to turn 3, we actually have DRS because he did get ahead of us, so we were just behind him in the DRS detection zone. So we got DRS for the straight, made a little bit of a gap, which is good for us, but I don't know for how long that gap's going to be secure, because you can see the Mercedes has so much grip that in the middle sector he's caught up to us. So as we come to the double left-hander of turns 9 and 10, he goes for a dive bomb down the inside, very aggressive from the AI with around, I think, 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix. He's getting desperate, guys. He is getting desperate. So that's why we need to watch out, because he is gonna make a move. This is very aggressive from the AI. I am loving it, and you can see around the outside we were defending. We just got better traction, and we barely stayed ahead. But now we're coming on to the end of lap number 11 through the final corner. We have to use DRS. We've gotten a fairly mediocre exit, I'm gonna say, compared to Hamilton, because we try to get a good exit, but it might not be good enough because we have only 1% ERS, and Hamilton, he has DRS and loads of ERS, and so we have to make another big boy dive bomb down the inside. Another dive bomb to recover from this. This is absolutely insane. I am enjoying this so much, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you are enjoying it as much as I am, because we made another overtake down to turn 1. I've got to say that's my favorite corner on the track. But yeah, another overtake down to turn 1, and I feel like this is not going to be the last, because there's going to be a lot more fighting. Even though we have around 2.5 laps left to go in this race, there's still going to be a lot of fighting. You can see we actually did a little bit better on lap number 12 because we built a fairly massive, not a massive gap, but a pretty good gap. He couldn't overtake us on the back straight, and I don't think he can overtake us on the main straight. I think he's struggling a little bit, maybe saving fuel or just saving energy, or just generally struggling on his tires as he makes a dive bomb down the inside into turn 1. He actually, that's not good. That is a bit you know, this is not what you would expect from the AI of a 7-time world champion, but he's actually, maybe it's not such a bad thing, because we have to make a dive bomb down the inside into turn 4 because he overtook us with DRS. Wow, this is so close on the penultimate lap of this race. Let's look at a replay of that. We had to go really deep down the inside. We kind of hopped the curb a bit because that's quite a high curb there. But yeah, that was not good. And now we're struggling a lot for grip. Maybe that's why Hamilton was a little slow on lap 12, because he's giving it everything in lap 13 and lap 14. You can see we're coming out of this double left-hander. Do we get a good exit? Yes, we do. Do we use ERS? Yes, we do. But we do not have DRS because Hamilton has DRS because we're the lead car. So now we just need to make sure that this last sector or so goes cleanly, and it doesn't because we go on the curb a little bit and we skip to a little bit later as we come through on the back straight. We don't have any ERS to spare. We don't have anything to use, so that's why Hamilton, he goes ahead. I let him ahead. You're gonna see why, because we make a dive bomb down into the penultimate corner. We come through and we have DRS. That is why I let him through, because we do have DRS down this main straight because of that little smart play there. Because that's what we gotta do. We gotta race hard, we gotta race smart, and we gotta do this because this is the final lap. This is where we give everything. We've got absolutely everything, no mistakes, no losing the position. You can see we get a much better run through turn 3. The first 3 corners went much better for us because we parked the bus at the apexes, slowed him down, and now as we come through turn 4, I think, guys, we've secured this, because down that back straight, it's not a very long straight, and that double left-hander is notoriously bad for the AI because they get dirty air from our car and they are not able to get a good exit. So that's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to park the bus at these apexes, make it extra slow for Lewis Hamilton, and then gun it at the exit. As you can see, that's what we're doing. We're using overtake mode, and he gets a bad exit. Even though he has DRS, I don't think it's gonna be enough because we are almost there at the end of the straight, guys. I think we can start celebrating because it is highly unlikely that Hamilton will be able to overtake us now beyond this point. Even though he's so close behind us, this corner is not an overtaking corner, although we kind of did the opposite of that. We kind of overtook at that corner at the first lap, but still I don't think he can make a move. You can see he's trying to get in the slipstream. He's trying to find a way past us, but he just can't as we come through the final corner on the final lap of the race. Yes, we're waving around on the track because we have a second gap behind to Hamilton. I do not know what happened to him at that final corner, but we won the race. I'm so happy about this. What a way to kick off this year, guys. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We got driver of the day. What a race, guys. Let's watch the podium ceremony.
What a fantastic Grand Prix that was, and an excellent win for McLaren. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
I kind of expected to get driver of the day in this race because when you're starting at the back, when you try to make your way towards the top 5, you usually end up getting driver of the day because that's how the game works. They kind of look at how you performed, where you started and where you finished. But if we went from last to first, if we completed the challenge as we did today, obviously we're gonna get driver of the day, guys. Hope you enjoy this video. This is F1ntastic Gaming, and this is the first 2021 Last of First Challenge complete.